What's up, guys? And we are here with Nas Life is Good Deluxe Edition review. And we're going to jump right into it. The first song on the track is No Introduction. It's a storytelling song. Hits on a lot of topics. Each verse has a different topic. The production, I wasn't really feeling the production on the song, but the third verse was great. And that moves us into the next track, Locomotive. It's just like he says at the end of the song, this is for all y'all stuck in the 90s. It just has a classic feel to it. One of the best songs on the album. And I just think it's a great song. A Queen Story. It's just a look back song on his life. He touches on some things about his life, of course. And the thing about the song is it's 4 verses, no chorus. It's another very good song on this album. And, I like it. He don't waste time because a lot of the choruses on this album I didn't really dig. He just goes in and raps in this one, which is a great idea. And then that brings us to the 4th track on the album, Accident Murderers. And again, this is one of my favorite songs in the album. It just vividly paints a picture in your mind about a murder scene. And, he tries to shoot someone, it hits someone else, and, he's upset because he's tight with that guy. And you guys just gotta listen to this album. There's a lot of great painted pictures that the songs do by Nas. Great job by him. The next track, Daughters. This is one of the borderline best tracks on the album. If you said this is your favorite track on the album, I wouldn't blame you. It's dedicated to his daughter, Destiny Jones. Very good lyrical song. But it's just I just wasn't quite feeling it to the point that I'd consider one of my favorite songs. Still a very good song. And, you'll see that a lot as a theory on this album. To be honest, I'm just going to, in case you're in a hurry, I'm going to tell you this album does not have a bad song. And that's counting the 18 Deluxe Edition tracks. Jeez, I can't speak. And then I also listened to the iTunes bonus track, which is not on the Deluxe Edition disc for some reason. But next that brings us to Reach Out, which is a really cool concept. And, it's just like, if you listen to the song, it's just him not being able to sleep at like 3 in the morning, late at night, and him just having thoughts going through his head, money, just listen to the song, I don't want to completely spoil this album for you guys. It's really touches on it's kind of a depressing feel on the album, but it touches on a lot of things, and I really think you should listen to it. And that was the 6th track. That brings us to the 7th track, and World's an Addiction. Or World is an Addiction. Did I write this right? World's an Addiction. Alright. It's a solid song. I did not feel the chorus at all on this. And, if this song didn't have really good verses, it would be in the shitter on this album. But then the next song is the 8th track on the album, Summer on Smash, featuring Swizzy and Miguel. And this song is catchy. Swizz Beatz kills the chorus. It's a really catchy song. One of my favorite on the album, actually. It's kind of got a pop feel to it. Nas's verse isn't very great. Maybe his worst on the album. But Swizz, maybe it's probably just a bubblegum pop song. But it serves a purpose. It's a fun song. One of the rare occasions on this album, actually. And the next track is You Wouldn't Understand. And this song just has that flow, this part of the album, this like Daughters to Back When, kind of the worst part of the album in terms of having some of my favorite songs on the album. But songs like Back When, You Wouldn't Understand, and Daughters, those songs are 8.5 out of 10s. This song just continually produces solid tracks, and You Wouldn't Understand just has that flow. And then the 10th track, Back When, just an overall good song. I don't really have too much to say on the concept of it. And then that brings us to the 11th track, The Dawn. Smoking a Escabano, guzzing my second bottle. It's a great chorus, or intro, whatever you want to call it. And then Nas just comes in spitting fire. Then in the last verse, it kind of slows down a bit. Then he just goes back, changes beats, then he just goes back to spitting fire. Man, it's a great song, great production. One of the best songs on the album. I didn't want it to be track 11 when I reviewed this album, because when I listen to these albums, I listen to the albums entirely in. I was like, wow, I don't want to wait till the 11th track to listen to this, because I heard this song 2 years ago when it was released as a single. So, I known it for a while, and then I was like, wow, I thought it would be in the beginning of the album because it's such a fire track. And, I waited, and it was well worth the wait. One of the best songs on the album, maybe the best. And Stay is the next song. Man, this song is just so relaxing. I guess it's kind of fitting bringing us into the next song called Cherry Wine. And, I think it features Cherry Winehouse. And it's not about Cherry Winehouse or cherry wine, but it is about, it's about what Nas looks for in women. And, he ends, one of the verses, he ends like, but that woman don't exist or something, It's just a brilliant song again. One of my favorite songs on the album. And this might be the most repetitive review you've ever read, but this is a great album. And, it's not about his ex-wife or anything. It's just what he looks for in women. Very, very good song. And that brings us to the final track on the normal edition of the album, Bye Baby. And, this song is just like a look back on Nas's times with Kelis, or his wife, Kelis. I don't really know how to pronounce it. I think this is the track where he talks about how she was yelling at the cops, she got arrested, he bailed her out, and they went to the Heat game. Good, reminiscence on stories. Solid song overall. And now let's go right into the Deluxe edition. The Deluxe edition starts off with a badass motherfucking song, Nasty by Nas. Maybe the best song on the album. He's just showing he got that flow with the lyrics, and he just spits. He just is raw in this song, and he's like 38 when the album came out. He's like 40 now, I think. Wow, he has bars. And then that brings us to the Black Bond. I think this is the song that's like 2 minutes long. It's a good song. Roses. This song has great production, and it seemed like in this song he was kind of mad about his wife, I don't know, it was kind of weird because he had praised her at points in this album. Maybe this was his venting song. So, again, Roses, one of the best songs on this album. And, damn, it feels like I've said that so many times, but, there is a lot of songs you could really dig on this album, in my opinion. And, the next song is the last on the Deluxe edition, track number 18, Where's the Love? This song just has amazing flow. It's a great song and one of my favorite on the album. Perfect way to end the Deluxe edition when you're just flowing and flowing. At points, flow is more important than lyrics. Obviously if you're like Drake and have good flow, but your lyrics aren't that great, or kind of simple, it's bad. But Nas is flowing, spitting great lyrics. And then he ends the album with a song that really stuck to me. Track number 19, the iTunes Deluxe Edition track called Trust, which is, it talks about how, it says stuff like, if a person walks up to you, if they're going to shoot you. And it's really just a song about trusting people and how that, it's very hard to explain, but it's a very good song. I thought this track would be a piece of shit, but, wow, good way to end the album, it just makes you think about people and, how some people are, and I can relate to it because I know if I can trust people or not. I can't relate to the hood life. I'm a suburban white kid, but I can find enjoyment in this music because it paints such a picture. It's entertaining, and obviously you don't want to see the death or anything. Hopefully that's fake or added effect, but just the painting of the picture. Nas is just a great music maker, and Trust was a great way to end the album. Now, let's go to my favorite songs. Locomotive, The Dawn, Cherry Wine, Nasty, Trust, Where's the Love, Accident, Murderers, and Summer on Smash. And my final verdict on this album is, while it has a depressing or sad feel, there are some, happy songs. Summer on Smash, The Dawn just has that feel to it. Nasty's pretty upbeat. A lot of great songs on this album. Counted 9. It paints a picture in your mind. There's no song in this album that was bad enough to skip. Usually you're like, fuck that shit, when that song comes on. But, there's not that song in this album, which you can listen to in its full entirety. It's a long album, so you might want to be out, some of you might get bored listening to albums in their entirety, but I really recommend it. At first I didn't do it, but you get so much more out of it. And then it just has that, some of the beats are just classic, and it just feels cool. Some I didn't really feel, but I'm kind of split on the production on this album. If there was a better production on this song, it would have got a perfect score for me. But I'd give this album a 9.75 out of 10. And yes, that is a classic album, ladies and gents. And I really enjoyed this album, guys. 9.75 out of 10, classic album by Nas. We'll be reviewing his other shit sometime soon. Expect an Eminem show and Food and Liquor review this week. Maybe a Kendrick Lamar Overly Dedicated and another mixtape of my choice, guys. But thank you for watching, guys. Have a great day, and God bless.